Start planning today to celebrate the 40th Equip Exposition Trade Show this October 17th through the 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. Expo is the best place for landscapers to find the latest equipment, tools, and technology to get more productive and efficient. And then you can go into our 30-acre demo yard and test the products for yourself. Explore new business opportunities in one of our 50-plus education sessions and learn firsthand from experts in landscaping, hardscaping, irrigation, pool installation, tree care, and outdoor lighting. And don't miss the new Thursday night arena concert with Third Eye Blind and Dylan Scott. Also, there's our UTV test track and our main stage events with top-notch speakers like Brian Fullerton, all for just $25 per person if you register during our early bird sale. And you can even save 50% off that price with the coupon code BRIAN.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, today's podcast episode is going to be a short and sweet one, as we always say. Hopefully just trying to cover some of the details of the annual conference that we host in Novi, Michigan on November 11th this year on Saturday, up here at the Suburban Collection Showplace in Novi, Michigan. That is our event that we host called Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023. And so we want to roll out the red carpet, the green carpet, maybe, for all of you guys all across the country and anybody, international as well that wants to swing on by for the, in my opinion, one of the best conferences that goes on throughout the whole year in the industry. And I don't just say that because I'm a big fan and we're putting it on, and of course I'm going to hype it up, but that is the direct feedback that I get from so many folks out there that are listening in, that are coming to the event, and that is their report that it is one of the best conferences out there. And so here's what we're going to do. Let me give you guys the who, the what, the when, the why, the where, the how, and we'll just try to keep it in a compact fashion. So tickets will go on sale later this afternoon and evening, so maybe you want to put a reminder on your phone, hey, 3 o'clock, tickets go on sale for LAL. I would encourage you guys to visit the website and get those tickets ASAP because eventually they will sell out because we're only going to make more than likely about 300 tickets available up here in Novi, Michigan. Now, we do have the capacity to expand the room. We could probably fit 400 or 500 people in there. But at the point right now, I just like to say, hey, let's rock and roll with 300 folks. Let's get back to where we were last year. And if we grow from there, hey, all the better, okay? So here's what we're going to do. I want to talk to you guys about where this event came from, how it got incepted, and then who's it for, and then what you guys can expect there, because over the years, this thing has morphed and transitioned and transformed into quite a crazy conference. There's a lot of money moving around, a lot of effort moving around, a lot of emails and phone calls, and a lot of conversation about pretty much everything, right? From the speakers to the sponsors to the coordinators to all of you guys coming in, Facebook groups, podcasts, a couple podcasts that I was able to record with some friends, trying to get the word out and the information out. So again, I don't want to overhype it. I don't want to sell or convince any of you guys that that to come on out to the event. I will be honest with you, it's a little bit more of an intimate environment. It's a little bit more for the serious ones out there. It's not a come one, come all. It's I would still say a pretty affordable ticket price at just under $200. But it's not free. It's not, covered by any one specific company that's just, floating the overhead and the cost for the event. And it's a come one, come all kind of a cookout. It's nothing like that. It's a pay to play conference. It is an event that you can invest in yourself professionally. You and your team. You can bring your crew. You can bring your foreman. Of course, I always encourage you to bring at least your spouse. But this is something that you are going to invest your hard-earned money into. And I think by doing so, you have some skin in the game at the conference, and it's going to mean that much more to you. Now, I do say this. At least the ticket price is only for early bird registration at $197. That's going to go all the way until October 11th, and then early bird registration is over, and it's going to go up another $50, $60 to $249 or whatever it's going to be. But the reason it's only $200 for a ticket And I got to say this right off the rip because I'm very, very grateful for their steadfast commitment to putting on this event with us, is our core sponsors, which are Exmark, SureTrack, Yardbook, and this year, Boss Snowplow, which I'm super grateful for. And then Friday, the party and the mixer that we have going on before then is brought to you by Kohler Engines, which I'm super grateful for their support. So let's do this really quick. We're going to take a quick sip of water. I'm going to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements. And then what I want to do is just take 10 minutes, maybe something 10, 15 minutes, just short and sweet, talk to you guys about the lay of the land, who's going to be there this year, what you can expect, who's it for, and then you guys decide. You guys decide if you want to come up to Novi Michigan and make the investment for $500, $600, $1,000 maybe in total cost, and to invest into your future. And one thing I'll say right off the front of the gate is that, you know, I heard somebody say a long time ago that some people treat a crumb like a feast, and some people treat a feast like a crumb. And I don't want anybody to not take this opportunity for granted. Right? I have some people out there that are like, well, when the conference comes my way or into my neck of the woods, or man, why would they do it in November? I mean, they could do it in the spring. Well, we're always busy in the spring. Well, they could do it in the winter. Well, it's always snowing in the winter. Well, they could do it in the summer. Well, I haven't got paid yet from all my spring work, and we're behind the 8 ball on landscape jobs. We're 8 weeks booked out. We got to get all the work in. Well, there's never a perfect time to do it. Well, I got to do leaf cleanups and make $500 that day, or I have my irrigation blowouts, or we're getting ready for snow. Look, I get it. I get all the above. I've said all the above. I deal with all the exact same stuff that you guys are dealing with as well. But I will tell you what, you have to make time out for professional development. You have to make time to get around the heat. You have to make time to get around peers in your industry and leaders in your industry to learn the latest and greatest, to make mindset shifts and to make mindset tweaks, and to sometimes have brain surgery performed on you and your business so you guys can recharge, so you can re-energize, and you can rebuild and change and fix your company in the off season, which is a perfect time to have a conference in November to work on your company all winter. That way you're ready to run out of the gate that following spring. Okay, so who is the conference for? In theory, it's a little bit for everybody, but it's for those people that want to grow. It's for those people that want to make an investment into their future, into their company, and they want to go, as the old cliche goes, to the next level. Okay, so let's do this really quick. We're going to run through some more of those details in just a quick second. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, and then we're going to come right on back.
You're working hard to grow your lawn and landscaping business. You deserve footwear and apparel that works as hard as you and makes your life a little easier. Cujo Yardware has been listening to the lawn care community and is working to offer you the best gear. They started with the Cujo Yard Shoe, the hybrid shoe boot designed for mowing, trimming, and landscaping. After hearing the need for a safety toe, Cujo launched the Composite Toe X1 Landscape Boot. Thanks to your feedback, Cujo introduced the Jags, a high-performance work shoe that just pulls on with no lacing needed. And most recently, Cujo listened to the lawn care community to create the ultimate summer work pants, the light, breathable, and comfortable Cujo Yard Pants. Cujo Yardware is dedicated to the green industry and will keep working hard to offer you the right gear. Check them out at Cujo.com, Kujo.com.
All right, guys, well, let's hop back into it here. And I wanted to just kind of give you guys the lay of the land of where this event actually stemmed from and where it actually came from, and how it morphed into what it is today, being a almost 2-day long event, hundreds and hundreds of folks coming from all across the country, folks from Texas to Florida, Alabama, California, Washington State, people from the New England states, everywhere across the country, speakers, sponsors, some of the biggest and brightest and the best business owners in the industry. How did this thing all come to play? I mean, quite frankly, Fullerton, you're a nobody. You're just another guy out there. You just got started in lawn care 10, 15 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, you didn't have that crazy of a business. You still, just have a humble, couple $100,000 a year company today, employing a couple part-time people. Where did this whole thing stem from and come from? Well, let's zoom out really quick. In 2016, we started a YouTube channel. It started to grow very, very slow. Took a little bit of a while, got some subscribers, and hey, we put our foot down in the industry and we said, hey, we're here. We planted our flag. We said we want to make some fun content. 2017, channel continued to grow. We got on Instagram, more friends, more community, and that started to grow. 2018-ish, maybe 2019, we started Lawntrepreneur Academy Live. We had 200-300 videos at that time, and people were sifting through the library and, hey, how do you install mulch? How do you install this? How do you install that? How do you have contracts or resources, all that fun stuff? What are you using to grow? And I said, well, that's an interesting perspective. Let me make a training website. It wasn't a cash grab. It wasn't a way to, at the time, make a revenue source. It was just a way to provide some resources distilled down. None of the, hey guys, welcome to the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel. Rah, rah, 3 minutes of an intro and song and dance, and then 4 or 5 minutes of meat, and then 2 minutes, doing the whole like, comment, subscribe. It was like, hey, no, let's just make some courses, some contracts, and just give you guys the meat and potatoes. It's just pull out a pen and paper, pull out a family-sized box of goldfish. Let's learn, and that's LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com. And you guys have really supported that over the years. We really do appreciate that. Our commercial contracts, our lawn care contracts, our snowplow contracts, which are starting to sell pretty well right now, as you guys would imagine, as we're getting ready to shift into snow. So in 2019, 2 things happened. One, we started Lawntrepreneur Academy, online courses and resources. But then right around there, or just maybe 2-3 months before, I hung out with my friend Jason Creel down in Alabama, and he had the second, I think it was, Alabama Lawn Care Life Conference, whatever it was called. I think it was Lawn Care Life Conference. And he had about 100, 150 people there, and it was a really, really good time. And long story short, I got a vision. I said, dude, this is awesome. I want to have a conference. Like, I love to build community. I've got my own little social media following, all 10 people. I could, bring at least 8 of those people in, and we could have a good time. Well, I got a vision, right? And then right around the same time, I think a month or 2 before, whatever it was, I went to Keith Kalfa's event. He had an event in Michigan, maybe about 75 people there, 100 people there, at a hotel in, where was it? In Sterling Heights, Michigan. And he brought in some speakers and had a couple sponsors. And I said, dude, I can do this. Like, this is a lot of fun. So short story long, in 2019, again, we put our flag in the ground and we said, hey, we're going to do a conference. We're going to bring in some YouTubers, some influencers, some great guest speakers. We had Josh Latimer, who's like a service industry kind of a guy, owned a power washing company, very successful guy. Had Stanley Dirt Monkey in. He's like, the big deal, speaker keynote that year, and talked about the harsh reality and brutal reality of running a contracting business, and it's going to take a lot of work, and talked about mental toughness. But we had a good time. There was 100, 150 people there at the time. I think it was 142 tickets I think we sold, and maybe 150 plus people there with, speakers and sponsors and all that mess. And it was a really, really good time. A lot of great feedback. And I think we were onto something. And I think a lot of people just appreciated the community aspect. A lot of you guys that follow on the YouTube channel or the podcast or on Instagram wanted to get together, wanted to meet up, wanted to build community. And it was a really, really special time. It was a really, really special event. In fact, that was when Keith Kalfas did the 2019 Know Your Worth talk. And I think just set so many people free. It's still one of my favorite speeches ever. Not only is it a great speech, but I'm like, bro, he did it at my conference? How cool is that? Like, talk about just humbled, okay? And I love my boy Keith Kalfas, okay? So fast forward in 2020, whatever it was, we started the podcast, and that thing started to grow and got bigger and bigger. And now whatever this thing is, this tentacled monster is just out everywhere, from podcasts to Instagrams to TikToks to Facebook Reels to blog posts to newsletters we're doing our best to help you guys legit grow a lawn and landscaping conference. And along the way, my company grew, your guys' company grew, the conference started to grow. I think in the second year we had, gosh, don't quote me, I don't know, 215, 225 people. That was the COVID year. We were the only folks that ran a conference that year, literally post-March, after the Trump shut down the country, in mid to late March. It was wild. We were the only event at that Suburban Collection Showplace for the remainder of the year. I was the only crazy one. And I said, dude, I'm not going to give COVID the time of day. I think it's just a glorified cold. I think they want to shut down the country. Some wild stuff's going on. I think it was a lot of it politically motivated with what was going on in the U.S. and Trump and elections and all this other mess and blah, blah, blah. And I just said, screw that. I said, I don't care if you got to wear a mask. I don't care if we got to keep the windows open. I don't care if we have to have the event outside, which we were literally committed to doing all the above. I said, we're going to have this event. And by the way, we had 250 people in, and, arguably, best I understand, because I asked everybody after, anybody get COVID? No, nobody got COVID. So that was an interesting perspective. But while everybody was living in their basement, including the president-elect, we threw on a conference and had one of the best conferences ever. We satellite streamed the conference into 5 different rooms. We rotated speakers. It was wild. It was ridiculous, but we made it happen. The following year, we had another 275 people. I think the 4th year, whatever it was, we had 340 or 350 people. And again, this year, going into our 5th year, we'd love to have another 350 of you guys back up here. And so out of this, as you guys can imagine, relationships have been formed. Community has been formed. I get to meet so many great people, the Balthazars, JC Landscapes, Ben Naiman, Lamont Harrison. We had Mitchell Gordy come in. I've got people coming in from California, people coming in from Washington. We've had a slew of all the best people coming in for speakers as well. We've had the Stanley Dirt Monkeys, the Keith Kalfoses. We've had Mark Bradley. We've had Troy Clogg, Corey Ballard a couple years ago, James Mansky. We've had so many we had Trisha Dork, who's our real estate agent a couple years ago, who's like a fire-breathing business lady, butt kicker. She's incredible. A lot of you guys were like, you're a real estate agent. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, like, she's the real deal. She's incredible. And she came there and stole the show 2 years ago. We had Paver Pete in a couple years in a row, back to back. The first year, I think he dropped more F-bombs than Gary Vee ever would combined. It was absolutely amazing. In fact, there's this young guy there. He was 12 years old. And by the way, the age for our conference is 12 plus for the young guys if you want to bring the kids and whatnot. But also, if you have littles, if you have babies, if you have a nursing mom or, wife and all that fun stuff, we get it. Liz and I are family people. We don't just say that, we mean that. Some companies and some organizations and events say that, but they don't mean it. For our conference, we do. And so if you have a nursing baby or, mother, obviously, anybody like, 2 and under, they're welcome to come to the conference, hanging around with mom and all that stuff. Mom can still come in the conference and nurse, sit at the table, sit at the back table. We totally would love that. We appreciate that. We respect that. If baby gets a little fussy, obviously we do respectfully also ask just to have baby step out of the room for just a hot second until baby's calmed down, just to not, disturb the conference, obviously. But we'd love to have them there. We'd love to have the family there. We'd love to have you guys there. Friday night is open to anybody that's got to take it to LAL and their family if you want to come on by. And there's a lot of people that travel with the family and the kids, and they go up to Michigan, Mackinac Island after, or Traverse City, or they have friends or family, on the west side of the state of Grand Rapids area, beautiful area of the state. So if you're going to come, we invite you to just make it a worthwhile trip. Bring the family, bring the husband and wife. You guys got to grow the company together. We invite you guys to have everybody there. Okay. So the community aspect is just second to none. The conference environment, it's at Suburban Collection Showplace, which is like the conference center in Novi, Michigan. It's a first-class venue. It's a first-class place. We feed you well. You get lunch included, which is awesome. We have a 3 p.m. break where you can go outside and demo. And then we'll have a bunch of snacks and whatnot during the afternoon. And then, a couple speakers to wrap up the event. So great venue. Great speakers, great guests and attendees, just a first-class event, okay? And so let me do this really quick. I want to talk about the themes of the conference and what this conference this year is all about. And again, I'm not a hard sell. I'm not here to sell or convince you guys I'm coming. I really do genuinely mean this. This is for the people that want to grow. This is for the people that, hey, if your company has went backwards or it's stagnant, you need to be in this environment and get around winners, okay? I've had days and years where my company has went backwards or been stagnant, and I've been apathetic or pity party or woe is me. I've been there. Can I admit that too? Like, I'm a real person. There's days where I'm feeling upset or frustrated or resentful or bitter. You need to get around those kind of environments. It'll dry out your wet wood, and I promise you, we'll still light you back on fire and motivate the snot out of it. If your company is growing, if you're neutral positive, you're going to get a ton out of the conference. If you're growing, you're like, dude, pour fuel on the fire, man. Let's do this thing. And you're going to just burst into the next phase of your company. Okay. But it's for people that are, if you're stuck, if it's for people that are neutral, it's for people that are growing, but it's for people that are hungry. It's for people that want to learn. Okay. If you want to just mingle, if you want to just, see your favorite YouTuber friend or influencer friend, that's fine. That's cool. Of course, that's always a huge aspect of Lawntrepreneur Academy Live, the community aspect for sure. But I would just say, like, if you're just going to go to be a groupie, I'd rather you just save your $400 or $500. Like, can I be friends with you still and just say that? Like, dude, it's just not the right investment for you. I'd rather you just go to Equip Expo, see all the shiny mowers, see all the shiny equipment. There's some community aspects, of course, to Equip Expo. They've been getting more and more community driven, of course. But that's an environment for a lot of people to just hang out for 3 days and go see Third Eye Blind and all that stuff. And that's fine. That's cool. And there's a role. They'll sell you a mower. My goal is to help you make money with that mower. The guys speaking on stage and the people that I'm going to be listing off here in a quick minute, their goal, their objective is to help you make more money. to help clear the fog, to help get the cobwebs out of your mind, right? As Tiger Woods said, he said the hardest course he ever played was the 6 inches between his ears. Like, that's what we're there to do, is to help you guys learn and grow. And also, one other quick thing I wanted to just touch base on is, some people are like, well, I was there in 2019 and it was awesome. Okay, cool. Well, I was there in 2022. Like, that was awesome. Like, do I need to come back this year and see it again? And my respectful rebuttal is that, like, what, did you just like stop self-developing? Did you stop self-improving? Did you just say, hey, mentally, I'm successful. I'm going to tap out. I'm plateaued. I'm done. I don't need to engage anymore. No offense. As we've all heard, you're either growing or you're dying, right? Like, nature doesn't stagnate. It's growing or it's dying. So by you not going to an event, and I know it's not saying our event, I'm not saying ours is the end all be all. I'm just saying, if you disengage, I will promise you it's going to be just a couple days, weeks, months, maybe 6 months to where you can coast. And then I promise you, you will backslide, because in nature and life, you can either grow or you're dying. You can only coast, and there's only one way to coast, and it's downhill. Okay, nobody coasts uphill. It's not a thing. So my point is, you have to make uncomfortable decisions. You have to make investments. You have to get around people, and it's going to take some time and money to do so. And if you don't go to our conference, for the love of God, my plea, my request is that you go to something. You go to something at least once or twice a year, extra credit, self-development wise, for you, your company, your spouse, your team. Okay, is that cool to say? Is that fair to say? All right. So here's what I want to do: is this conference is for people that want to grow. It's for the serious ones out there. Man, we take off the gloves. And I'll tell you what, the stuff that we share from stage and what the speakers share from stage, there'll be some recordings and some things that, eventually get released here and there, but 90% of it never makes it out, because we don't want to cheapen it for the people that made the investment. And again, I have to double down and circle back to people like, well, I've heard a lot of this same stuff before. Or, Brian, you have a YouTube channel with 1,000 videos, or you have a podcast with 500 episodes. There's, I got all the information. I get it all online for free. Listen, I will tell you, the stuff that you get online for free it's good, it's quality, it's helpful, but there is so much more when you hear it live, you see it live. There's things that aren't going to be shared for obvious reasons, or can't be shared for obvious reasons, that are going to be shared from that stage in person, behind closed doors, if you will, that isn't going to make it out. And there is an element of, hey, if you didn't make the investment, you're not going to get the pinnacle of the best information that's out there. Podcasts are fine, that's free, but you're learning secondhand. And, you get what you pay for. Okay, so when you make an investment for a couple $100 and, a plane ticket for $300, we don't take that for granted, and the speakers don't either. And they're going to pour it out thicker than you'd ever get in a newsletter, on a podcast, or on a YouTube video. Okay, it's just not the same. And in fact, I'll give you guys a really great, for instance, this was a fun one, a great personal experience. It's like, I like listening to Imagine Dragons. They're like one of the people I get to listen to when I want to kind of, just, numb out the brain a little bit in the afternoon, mowing grass. And, I know a lot of the songs, know a lot of the words, and, got, some great ISO tunes, right, to listen to them, or maybe got a nice sound system in your car or at your house. And that's fine and that's cool. But I'll tell you what, it's nothing like seeing that speaker or band, in person. Okay. So I actually last summer had the fortune of seeing Imagine Dragons live in concert. I actually got some tickets for my wife and I. We were going to go. Then all of a sudden she got pregnant, got knocked up somehow. I have no idea how that happened. So obviously we were a couple months pregnant. I said, hey, probably not the best environment for a pregnant woman to be in, literally front row center. I dropped a bag on these tickets. And so Liz was like bummed, but she's like, you got to go. She goes, take Mike Bedell, take your subcontractor, take one of your best friends, take Mike Bedell. And I did. I took Mike Bedell. He's a big musician guy, band guy. I don't know if he's a Imagine Dragons guy, but he's like, yeah, dude. He goes, I'll make it work. And we took a road trip out 45 minutes to wherever it was, like Lapeer or something like that. I don't even remember. Clarkston, Michigan, whatever the outdoor amphitheater place was. And dude, front row center, listening to Imagine Dragons. And I will tell you, hearing them on stage, being 5 feet from Dan or whatever the main singer guy's name is, and hearing them sing all their classics in person and all the new songs, whatever you want to call it, in person, the stage, the lights, the sound, the stage set, Macklemore opened up. For us, that'd be like a Paul Jamison and a Mike Bedell. Okay. But Macklemore opened up, which was unexpected. And I like Macklemore. I'm like, that was the coolest experience ever. And then I get home and I'm trying to like relate to Liz, and I took some videos and I'm trying to like send her some stuff. And I'm like, it just doesn't relate. It just doesn't relate. And I can't do it justice. And so it's the same thing. You go, man, I listen to the podcast, or, hey, I'll buy the live event recording 3 months after it comes out. Folks, I'm telling you, it's just not the same as being in proximity and being in person and being in like spirit, right? And that was for a silly concert with Imagine Dragons. Now imagine getting around 300 other people that are like-minded, trying to, make their dreams and goals come true. Everybody there is an opt-in, self-employed entrepreneur. Nobody's there, quote unquote, as an employee saying, hey, this is mandatory. You need to get there. And they got a bummy attitude because they got to get around this, environment for the day. It's nothing like that. So imagine the energy when you got 300 to 400 people that are self-employed, excited about making their future better. Okay. So again, I'm not a hard sell on it. I'm not here to convince anybody. I am here to give you guys the lay of the land, because it's going to be an awesome, awesome conference. Let me go to the speaker lineup really quick, and then we'll button this up. Again, just to reiterate, LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com. You can get your ticket there. It's $197. When you guys register, do me a big solid. A lot of you guys have been really, really great with this. So thank you for the tremendous help last year compared to year over year. When you purchase a ticket, purchase one ticket at a time per person, right? Per email. So if you're registering yourself, John Smith, all your name, number, address, email, whatever you got to punch in, and then your credit card, and you buy your ticket, that's fine. If you're bringing your spouse or, wives are bringing your husband, that's fine. Do me a solid. You have to check out again, go through the whole system again, and check out one person at a time with a unique email or a different email. So our system, unfortunately, on the website, it is what it is. It doesn't capture multiple ticket purchases. So if you put in like, dad's bringing, his son, and then his, another team member, you have to register each person individually. Okay. That's the only real ask. I got to just make sure everybody, because if not, I got like somebody that buys 3 tickets and I got somebody's registered name and then 2 blank tickets. And I'm like, hey, who are you bringing? Who is your guest? Who is your spouse? And all that fun stuff. And it just seems a lot of logistics on the back end. Also, if you register, please don't put like, Butthead, as like your name, like butt and head, and then your like actual company email. Like put your real name, put your real first name and your real last name. We do print out badges and tickets, and usually 2 weeks out for the events, I'm like, hey man, you put like B Smith, like is it Brad? Okay, Brad Smith. Okay, thank you. So real names, real addresses, real emails. That is very helpful to collect. We're not selling that or anything like that. It just helps us to make badges and to, get the banquet and event order put together when we got to order, a couple hundred, 300 people worth of food, which comes to about $30,000, $40,000 worth of food. It's absolutely wild, folks. So let me do this really quick. Before we go into the speakers, and I'll wrap it up pretty quick, is I want to talk about the Friday night, totally optional, but my gosh, you'd be silly to not come, is the mixer party that we're doing. And that is going to be at a place called The Hub, H-U-B, The Hub Stadium. It's right in Novi. It's literally 2 miles down the road from the venue. For any of you guys that have came to the go-karts in years past, it's kitty corner inside that same complex, just on the other side of the building. So the go-kart thing was so super fun. Did it 2 years in a row, ran it back. I think we kind of graduated from that. So instead, we rented out this place called the Hub Stadium, and it is like the place right now in Novi. So there's an indoor like bar and restaurant and cafe. This place is huge. It's hard to describe. It's dim lit. There's a YouTube video that I have announcing the ticket sales. Maybe you saw it. It's a huge indoor venue. And on one side, there's like 20 lanes of axe throwing. There's like 15 lanes of football bowling or foaling. If you guys know, you throw a football and you bowl for pins. It's actually super fun. And then upstairs, they have, what is it called? Curling, I think it is, with like the Olympics, like those rolling blocks like on the ice, and you have to like use a little like broom to polish the ice. I have no idea, but I'm like, dude, you go upstairs and it's a hockey rink upstairs. And I'm like, that's freaking wild. So we have that from 5 to 7. So it's all first come, first serve on those different stations. Basically from 5 to 6, everybody can do something. And then from 6 to 7, we're all going to rotate, and you can do a second activity. Only 2 out of 3. We're going to have the place for 2 hours. It's costing tens of thousands of dollars to rent this place out for 2 hours. Okay. So shout out to Kohler Engine for bucking up and putting some money into the game. And of course, we're eating some of that cost there with the main event ticket sales. So that's going to be from 5 to 7. We got a private room in the back that you can't miss. It's right on the main floor. There'll be hot dogs, burgers, the whole deal. I super invite you guys to come. If you're not going to participate in the games, it's totally fine. There's an open cash bar. There's food. There's going to be a lot of fun. Bring the kids, bring the family, bring the wife, bring the team, hang out there, get your most out of it. Right next door is Black Rock Steak on a Stone place. I feel like I should get a free meal for every time I bring 10 people. Like the bus driver eats free, at Denny's off of Road Stop. I feel like we've only brought about 1,000 people at this time to Black Rock over the last 5 years. So whatever, maybe I'll get a free pretzel appetizer. But Lamont Harrison, if you're going to get some Black Rock, get me some pretzel fondue. It's great Steak on a Stone place. It's in the same complex. It's a 75-foot walk. Okay. And then right next to that is Buffalo Wild Wings. And there's also like a Bar Louie, kind of a restaurant bar thing. So tons of food, great environment. Okay. So that's Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. If you want to go back over to the hotel after, that's fine. If you want to go out to eat after, that's fine. There's tons of stuff to do in Novi. We'll have in the private Facebook group, when you buy your ticket, you get access to the Facebook group. And Liz always makes an itinerary. Like, you can drive by our old apartment. You can probably even drive by our second apartment that we're moving out here in just another hot minute. We'll leave all that info. Weingart's is right down the road. Some of you guys are getting plows installed. One guy was getting a plow installed last year on Friday, Saturday, and picking it up after the conference, which was wild. Somebody bought a salt spreader. Somebody bought a Billy Goat leaf debris loader. Backpack blowers. I mean, if you need something that's not in stock at other dealers locally by you, and you're already going to come up here to, Farmington Hills and Novi, Michigan, Weingart's is literally like 7 minutes down the road. And if anything, just see the facility and the showroom floor. It's actually pretty dope. I mean, it's a, 10,000 square foot showroom floor dealer. It's pretty cool. There's Zap Zone down the road. There's a movie theater down the road. If you guys forget jeans or a button front shirt, there's a 12 Oaks Mall. It's across the street from this whole venue. It's an awesome centralized area. That's why we keep it here, to be honest with you. If you need a haircut, JJ's Barbershop right down the road, 10 minutes down the road, great haircut place. That's where I go. You can't go wrong, folks. Like, everything's right there on Novi Road and Grand River on the highway right there, 96. So check the Facebook group. Once you guys buy your ticket, we'll get you access to all that. Stay tuned to the marketing emails. We have the Hyatt Hotel, which is attached to the venue. That's where all the hotel rooms are for the first 60 rooms. And then after that, there'll be some hotel overflow down the road, which we'll announce those once the first hotel opens up. And it'll be a really, really good time. Let's do this really quick. We'll wrap up with speakers. I'm at 30 minutes, short and sweet. Should have been a 20-minute, but here we go. LAL 2023 speakers. And I had this up, and then my note disappeared. But let's go through this really quick. This year's conference is about leadership, communication, systems, and growth. Okay, for real. I want you guys, we talked heavy about inspiration and motivation. That was kind of like the COVID years. I wanted to just help everybody. You're all dealing with a lot of unknowns. It was wild stuff. But I noticed that a lot of you guys want more X's and O's. Like, how do I add an actual employee? How do I grow a crew? How do I grow to multiple crews? How do I go from $500,000 to $1 million? How do I scale? That was really last year, and that's really this year. And I wanted to talk specifically about communication, leadership, systems. And the people we're bringing in are the best of the best that I got access to. If you got somebody better, shoot them an email and tell them to come on down to Novi, Michigan. We'll put a microphone in their hand for 35 minutes, okay? Because we want to just get the best of the best people. I reached out to CEOs of a couple different companies, billion-dollar companies that are in our industry. Unfortunately, none of them had it available just yet. And I said, hey, if you open it up next year, it's a standing invitation. Love to have your guys in. Okay, so we're doing our best to throw our little, hat in the ring to get some of these big names out there for you guys as well. Okay, let me go through the speaker sponsor list or the speaker list. Leroy Maines. A lot of you guys know Leroy Maines. I know some of you guys just went, oh yes, Leroy's coming in. Leroy, I'm a big fan of Leroy. I love hearing him talk. He's a brilliant dude. He's got a company called Brilliant Borders over there in Des Moines, Iowa. He's a co-host with the Green Grind podcast with Corey Ballard. And Leroy's had a big company. He's shrunk his company. He's grown his company again. He's went back and forth through those different gears and different stages of his company, running $1 million plus business. Okay. Leroy understands how to grow. He understands how to have a setback that just sets you up for a comeback. Okay. The guy's awesome. He's a great communicator. He's a great listener. If you guys haven't heard him, check out the Green Grind podcast with him and Corey. He does an amazing job. And I can't wait to have Leroy just share some of those growing pains and struggles and how he was able to grow his company these last few years and get some good people underneath him, some good systems in place. There's nobody better that's going through the thick of it than Leroy. Okay, so I'm really, really blessed to have Leroy come on in. Number two, piggybacking off of that, talking about leadership and growth. I reached out to John Maxwell. Unfortunately, he was unavailable because, well, he was available. I just didn't have $200,000 to book him. So instead of booking John Maxwell, I got the next best thing, in my opinion, which is Sam Gamble. Okay. And a lot of you guys know Sam. He was on our fall shop tour. He runs a company called Atlas Outdoors. They're doing like, 8 digits, okay, up in Flint, Michigan. Let's just slow down really quick. If he can do it, you can do it. Okay. In the most depressed market in the area, Flint, Michigan, he's built out a $10 million company with 100 plus employees. Absolutely wild. If you guys aren't subscribed to his newsletter, he's got a leadership newsletter that goes out, I think every Tuesday. And I get it. I read it. Great guy, great influence. Just a genuinely good dude. I mean, he cares. I mean, he shoots me a message every 2 to 3 weeks. Hey man, how you doing? Anything I can pray for you about? Anything that you need help with? Man, I'm so excited about LAL coming this fall. He's been working on his presentation for about 4 months, just so you guys know, when I asked him in, February, March. He's so hyped to come share with you guys, okay? If you guys don't know Sam, I'm telling you, he's one of the best in the industry. He's all about leadership. He's like my little mini John Maxwell, okay? I promise you guys, you're going to be blown away with what he has to share, okay? So Sam Gamble, Atlas Outdoor. We're talking about systems. We're talking about leadership. We're also going to talk about knowing your numbers. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, we're still going to talk about knowing your numbers and making money. I'm like, can we ever get tired of talking about that topic? Like, in my opinion, that's still something that seems to be very elusive for a lot of people. And I want to have you guys understand how your company works, how to actually make profit. I mean, at the end of the day, like, everything rises and falls in leadership. And I think from the business side, everything rises and falls on profit. So wouldn't you want to learn how to make more profit, not less? I mean, that's my mindset. That's why I'm going. I want to learn. I'm going to be there with a pen and paper, listening to my man, none other than Weston Zimmerman with Synced Up. Okay. He's not coming in this necessarily to talk about Synced Up, but what Weston has done the last couple of years as he's blown up the CRM Synced Up and onboarded hundreds and hundreds of individuals is he spends a lot of time and energy helping people understand their business, helping them understand their numbers. What is profitability? What does a successful company look like? And I've seen him share this presentation many, many a time. And I said, hey man, I don't know what's in there, but you're doing a lot of things, having a lot of success. And a lot of people are really turned on by what you're doing and what Synced Up's putting together. Would you be willing to share about knowing your numbers, profitability, and making money with your company? He said, absolutely. He's like, I got a presentation that I've been dialing in for about a year and a half, 2 years now. I've presented it hundreds of times. I asked Josh Sutton, he went to a Synced Up event and Cycle CPA was there and all this. And he's like, man, Cycle did a great job. Weston did a great job. So a little nod there. So I can't wait to have Weston come on in and share about how to make a more profitable company. I mean, it's going to be awesome knowing your numbers. Okay. From there, we got a lunch break, Italian lunch at noon. It's going to be really good eats. It always is there. We do fill you guys up. In our banquet event order notes, they always put 300 plus guests, 4 landscapers, so hearty portions. Okay. So it's okay if you guys go get 2 scoops. We got you. We do feed you well. And as Caleb Ballman says, many things that you take away from an event, like a wedding, for example, right? What's the one thing you always remember from a wedding? Typically, it's the lady's gown, the bride's gown. How beautiful does she look? That whole deal, which is awesome. It's her day. And then also, hey man, how was the freaking food? How was the pasta? How was the prime rib? How was the food, the hors d'oeuvres, the sandwiches, the pizza at 11 o'clock during the when we're all having a good time partying? Like, the food makes it or break it. So we spent a considerable amount, way above average amount on food. Okay. Like I said, I think we spent 30, 40 grand on food and pretzels. And for our 3 o'clock break, it's absolutely ridiculous, but we like to eat. Okay. If you guys know me, I like to eat, and we're not going to cheap out there. Okay. Rounding out the second half of the afternoon, we got a lot of great stuff coming. Quick side note, we got Cycle CPA, Postcard Mania, my brother Adam, and his co-founder Lauren with Branded Bull. They're going to be coming again. You guys loved all 3 of those guys last year, did such an amazing job. Cycle's going to talk about knowing your numbers more. Postcard Mania about marketing and direct mailers. Adam and Lauren talking about SEO and websites. I mean, we're giving you the tools to grow. I mean, I can't think of a better lineup. But in the afternoon, we got Caleb and Brittany Allman, which I'm super excited about them sharing. And I just told them, hey, you guys got a blank check. Talk about whatever you want. But, last 2 years, it's been a struggle victory, man. They've put a lot of time and effort into their company, their barn, their shop that they built. A lot of you guys have been following along on that. The company's been growing. It's growing. It's falling back. It's growing. It's their story to tell. Not like falling back, like, lost a couple $100,000, but like it was just stagnant. And then they had to change some things. They had to work on themselves, and they're going through like this crazy self-development cycle right now. And I'm just really, really excited about what they're putting together. And they're a great, couple friend of Liz and I's. And frankly, we just wanted to have Brittany come on in, but it was awkward if we didn't invite both of them, obviously. So, Caleb will talk for 5 minutes. We'll just let Brittany talk for the other 35. How about that? It's just having fun. And so I say that just because usually they just get on stage and they laugh, they cut up, they bicker. And frankly, it's their shtick. Okay, folks. And if you've never been blessed by hearing them speak in public, speak live, please come on down. It's worth the $200 on its own. Okay. They do a great job. And I mean that in all respectful fashion. They've got $1 million company. Okay. They're making money. They're kicking butt. And I would just love to have them talk about like the last 12, 18 months and just relate. How's life going? And what's some encouraging words that you guys have found while you guys have been through all these different challenges the last 2 years. Okay. Let's keep going. We're going to wrap it up with 2 final speakers backed by popular demand. Keith Kalfas. Okay. Kalfas is my boy. I love hearing him speak. I love hearing him share. He is Mr. Motivation. Okay. He always does a great job. He actually didn't come the last 2 years. One of the years he actually had COVID. So probably glad that he didn't come, to be honest with you. He was super bummed. He wasn't going to come to speak. He was just going to come to check out the event. He's like, dude, I'm going to come to learn too. He's like, it's an hour down the road. It'd be nonsense to not come. Well, I said, Kalfas, we missed you the last 2 years. Would you mind coming in to share this year at LAL 2023? He said, absolutely. He's going to start crafting a message for you guys. And he is my motivational speaker, if you will. And I can't wait to have Kalfas share. And he's got a great company, a lot of stuff going on with his lawn and landscape business, a lot of stuff going on with his social media business. A lot of you guys have been blessed with Kalfas. Love watching his YouTube videos, especially the early ones. It was just raw. It was motivational, and it just helps set people free mentally, okay? Last 2 things I'm going to mention. Excuse me, my voice is kind of going, but last 2 things we're going to mention. Somewhere during the morning, we're going to be doing an up-and-coming speaker panel, an up-and-comers panel. And one of the pieces of feedback is a lot of you guys were like, hey, shout out to all these companies that are growing really, really well. And, they're doing $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million. That's awesome. But what about the guy that went from $200,000 to $250,000, went from 1 crew to 2 crews and added, 2 guys this year? Like, that's success. And I said, you know what? That's a great point. I totally agree. So how can we incorporate this into the event? So what I came up with is based on people that buy their tickets, I'm going to get the lay of the land and maybe tap some of you guys on the shoulder, but I'd be honored to have some of you guys share from stage. We're going to do a panel, and it's going to be emceed by the man, Corey Ballard. And we're going to hear from you guys out there about what you're doing to grow as well. Kind of like boots on the ground, practical speaking. You guys are growing your company of 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 grands. What's working out there? Okay, so again, that's a great suggestion that somebody brought up a year or 2 ago. And I said, I'd love to incorporate that into the conference. So that'll be part of a panel we do in the morning session, emceed by Corey Ballard, which is just going to be awesome. And you guys know Corey, he's got a great way to ad lib and to weigh in and to, steer the conversation and extract some good conversation out of you guys. So it's going to be a really, really, really fun part of the session. I think it's already going to be one of the best parts of the conference because who doesn't like a good panel, right? All right, let's wrap up really quick. My voice is about to go, so that's my sign. We're going to wrap up with my boy, Jeff Joyner, who is a professional motivational speaker. And if you guys don't know Jeff, he is a professional storyteller. And outside of that, Jeff was the #1 Campbell Soup sales rep for like a decade out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He has done multi-million-dollar contract negotiations, multiple millions of dollars of soup sold. He is a salesperson. He is a great communicator. He is one of the funniest human beings I've ever met in my life. He's got a great way to do brain surgery on you without offending you, but also making you realize like, oh, why am I being so silly, so stupid? And if you guys have been, like the way he can articulate a point is better than anybody I've ever made or ever seen, I should say, in my entire life. And he's my guy. Okay. So I'm super excited about having Jeff come on in to share. And also one last thing, a little bonus is last year at Together in the Trades, I challenged Jeff. I said, dude, you need to write a book about communication and sales and leadership. Like you got so much good stuff in you. Like you need to write a book. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah. He goes, that's kind of a bucket list thing for me. But he goes, I said, I challenge you to write a book in the next 18 months and have it available at LAL 2023. And he goes, huh? And he goes, bet. He goes, I'll make that happen. And so I've been keeping tabs on him, and we talk anyway once every couple of weeks, once a month. And long story short, he just finished up the manuscript. I was just talking to him just the other day. And over the next couple months, all that's going to finally shake out, and he'll finally have his book all completed, ready to go at LAL 2023. And I'm going to buy 300 copies, 350 copies. Hey, if 500 of you guys show up, that's a good problem. We'll buy 500 copies, and we'll have a little book signing thing there, and you guys can meet Jeff, and he can sign your book. And I mean, honestly, take that home as a resource that we're going to bless you guys with at the conference. So I'm really, really excited about not only Jeff sharing, but Jeff sharing about his new book and all this great stuff that's coming down the pike. I'm telling you, if you come, you will be blessed with what Jeff has to share. He is always on point. Okay. So that's what I got for you guys for a speaker lineup. It's as good as any other year we've ever had. I wanted to shift gears with a couple different people that we've had on repeat and kind of freshen some things up. I'll tell you guys what, I know it kind of went a little bit longer here. I'm at 45 minutes. Wow. Which is crazy. I thought it'd be 20 minutes in and out, but you guys all know I'm pretty long-winded, but I'm not here to sell or convince you guys on coming to the event. I just want to make sure you guys have the details, but I will tell you this, like, if you come, you will be blessed by the conference. And also, if you don't go and you start hearing it permeate through the ethos and how awesome it was and seeing people grow, and a couple years later, some of your peers went and you did it and their companies are significantly further along. Like, bro, you had your chance. I don't want you guys to have FOMO. I don't want you guys to miss out. Okay. I believe in the conference that much that I'm going to spend quite a bit of time over the next 4 or 5 months, which, by the way, it's coming up quick, 4 or 5 months. I want to make sure that you guys know that it's happening, and bring your spouse, bring your husband, bring your wife, bring your boyfriend, bring your girlfriend, right? Come together as a couple. People are always say, like, all the women are like, they're shocked at how many ladies come to the conference because you're building it as a couple. And we really invite you guys to bring everybody together. Let's do this thing, man. We're all doing this together. Okay. A couple last things I'll wrap up with is we're going to have some tickets go on sale at 3 p.m. 20 tickets for a private breakout session masterclass. That's going to be hosted by Sam Gimbel and Corey Ballard. That's going to be for 20 exclusive tickets. We did that last year. They sold out in like an hour and a half. Okay. First come, first serve. If you're like, hey man, my buddy got in there and I didn't get in there and the website, wasn't working because everybody's bombing it. Like, sorry, dude, 20 tickets. And I'm not pre-selling anybody. I'm not promising anybody tickets. I can't do that. It's not fair. So you got 20 tickets. Similarly, we have another breakout session with my man, Jeff Joyner, who's going to be hosting a sales and communication breakout session. 20 tickets, first come, first serve. When they're sold and they're gone, they're gone. Okay. Jeff offered to stick around Sunday morning and pour into you guys a little extra credit. I am going to hop between both rooms because selfishly, I want to hear what everybody has to say. But my gosh, please take advantage of those opportunities. Okay. Again, some people treat a crumb like a feast. Some people treat a feast like a crumb. And the fact that Jeff's going to stick around the next day and Corey and Sam Gimbel are going to stick around the next day, I'm telling you what, ask anybody who was at the masterclass breakout session last year. It was 3 hours. There was no video, no audio, no recording, no nothing. It was just, dude, it was raw. It was 3 hours of thick mastermind, just business, just authenticity, just asking questions, getting real answers, no lip service, no filter, right? Just, dude, it was straight fire. Okay. And if you know, you know. So one last thing, for the ladies that are sticking around with maybe their husband's part of that masterclass, or maybe you guys are just waking up the first thing in the morning, we want to just have a informal ladies invite breakfast from 8:30 to I think about 10:30, about 2 hours last year. Liz is going to be hosting that. She'd love to get to know you guys more. Bring the kids, hang out, have fun. Breakfast is like a continental breakfast buffet. It's just for the ladies, guys. Sorry, it's just for the ladies. And we'll have a conference room right next to the other 2 master classes. We'll have 3 in a hall, and that'll be a ladies' room. And you guys can hang out, mingle, talk about whatever ladies talk about. I'm not a lady, so I don't understand. I talked to Liz. I said, what do you guys talk about for 2 hours? She goes, everything. And I said, do you guys have fun? She goes, oh my God, it was so much fun. And so many friendships forged and made. Okay. So if you guys are thinking about bringing the fiance or the wife, highly encourage you guys to do that. Come check it out in the morning at the hotel. Guys, you can go down the street. There's a bunch of little diners. You can get some breakfast, but let the wives have some fun too, for crying out loud, man. They're always cooped up. They never get out. They never are able to mingle with the other wives in the industry. And we're going to try to make that available for you guys. Okay. All right. I think that's my list. This is the most comprehensive list that can come at you with you guys. There's no notes here. I'm literally coming out of recall. So if I do forget 1 or 2 things, I do apologize. One quick thing. If you do come to the masterclass, you have to, of course, have a main event ticket. So you have to have both tickets, no sneak-ins. I cross-reference. Okay, so don't be cheap. And if you guys have any feedback or any questions, that I didn't cover, check the Facebook group first. Shoot us an email second, and we'll make sure to cover those, on future newsletters, emails, podcast episodes, and we'll get those details covered. That's what we got for you guys, man. A short and sweet 45-minute podcast. That's pretty typical of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Get your tickets now, guys. Get your hotels now. Get your plane tickets. Don't make excuses. Don't miss it. For the love of God, please don't miss it. Don't let a $400 leaf cleanup get in the way of you making millions of dollars with your future. Okay, I mean that sincerely. We'd love to have you guys. It's going to be awesome. The conference is 8:30 to 5:30 on Saturday. Registration table opens up at 7:30. Doors open up at 8. First come, first serve. It's a ballroom style hotel. You can't miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We can't wait to see you guys there. All right. Tickets go on sale this evening. Maybe throw a quick little reminder or audio reminder, on your phone and just say, hey, remind me at 3:00 to buy LAL tickets. And we'll hope to see you guys there. And first come, first serve, man. We got 300 tickets. And once they're gone, they're gone. All right. That's what I got for you guys on today's show. Thank you guys so much for listening in. This is our big deal. This is our big event. Can you guys do me a solid? Can you guys do me a favor? Can you guys help me fill up that room? I'm putting 6 figures on the line here, hoping that people show up. Not to make money, just to break even. You know what I'm saying? And then hopefully, if the conference is profitable, then so be it. Okay. I just want to let you guys know, I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate you guys' love. I appreciate you guys believing in what we're doing. We don't take it for granted. And man, sincerely, I just can't wait to see you guys there. It's always a good time. And I can't wait at 8:30. We kick things off to see just 300 of you guys in the crowd, hungry to learn and hungry to grow. All right, that's what I got for you guys in today's show. We'll wrap it up. Look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one. K-U-J-O, Cujo. You know the name. Now experience this incredible work shoe for yourself. Hey guys, Brian here. And just a few years ago, I wondered why there wasn't some lightweight, functional shoe for the lawn care industry. A couple of weeks later, I get a message from this new company, Cujo Yardwear, letting me know about a new shoe they created for lawn care pros. We tried them out, put them to work, and the rest, they say, is history. The guys and I love Cujos because they are lightweight, breathable, super comfortable, and keep our feet dry. No more running shoes with flimsy support and soaked socks due to the morning dew or a passing spring shower. Cujo Yardwear is a family-owned company. Sean and Kelsey are a brother-sister team, and they seriously care about offering the best products for our industry. Check them out at Cujo.com. That's Kujo.com. And don't forget to use the Brian's 10 code to save 10% on your next order. Get a pair for you and a pair for your crew. You'll be so happy that you did.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.